Hey Cancer, welcome back. This is going to be the bonus read that I promised you guys for the You're Not Together But You Don't Feel Finished reading. I felt so bad. My audio was terrible. I had mic issues. Mercury retrograde. Please, please forgive me for that. It was such a mistake and I didn't realize it until after I loaded. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a different spread. I feel like I want to do a different one because you can hear that other one if you wanted to, and I know a lot of you did listen to it. So this is more of You're Not Together, but what was their story kind of reading. So I'm going to pull a crowning challenge for them, crowning energy challenge, and we're going to stick with the Rider-Waite. I do feel like I get the most precise messages with that particular deck. Okay. Let's go. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so their crowning energy, I don't do those in reversals, is going to be between worlds. Yeah. They're like, that's just stuck in between things, and that's spirit telling them that it's perfectly okay for them to not feel in control of everything. So this can potentially be, and let's see how the spread goes, because this is a general reading, guys. And I also want to say this may be a very different reading than the initial one for the You're Not Together But You Don't Feel Finished, right? Because general energy works like that. So this might be for a whole different group of other people. But between worlds definitely indicates to me that they on some level are feeling not grounded at all. And like they need to feel like their feet are planted somewhere and they just don't feel that. Is what I'm getting. And this has been a struggle that they've had. So let's see how this goes, and then if I need qualifiers as we go along, then we'll definitely do that, you know. All right, so this is going to be all about them, but I have to say that sometimes the energy is flipped, you know, Cancer. It just does. It depends on how it's coming in, and there's no way of me being able to tell as a reader. I just read the energy, so what I'm saying might apply to you and not them, and, you know, take what resonates, throw out the rest. You guys know. Okay, anyway, let's get right into it. Six of Pentacles. All right. They were initially in a space in your relationship where they were wanting and willing to bring you support and bring the relationship support. They felt so connected to you. They felt that it was just right. You know? Yeah. Very connected to you. And this can indicate that, you know, that they received money maybe from a job or inheritance or a project or something like this, and they were being very generous with you. But it could certainly also mean that they were just in a space of wanting to give you themselves, wanting to give you support, wanting to give you relationship. You know, that is not a cup energy. That is a pentacle energy, you know. So, yeah, so just to be able to give the relationship and the support and care that it needed to progress. And when they did this, they were very verbal about it with you. I get that promises were made in this initial stance. And then we go into the Queens of Wands reverse, and then they started to feel controlled by what they considered to be someone or something's pointless interference. So I don't feel like it was you putting demands of the relationship, but it could have been you maybe putting your 2 cents into choices that they were making, having to do with their career, having to do with their family, having to do with their kids, or nothing to do with you, and just some other outside interference that they felt was pointless. But what they weren't looking at was how they actually took on a lot more than they wanted to admit as a way of avoiding being who they really, really are due to fear of rejection. I feel like they gave you these initial promises really wanting to give you everything that they were saying. But as it turned out, they weren't capable of following through, and they were afraid of rejection, and they began breaking promises to you. And they went as far as actually feeling envious of what others had, but they didn't want to admit this on any level. But it was something that you were vibing, Cancer. You were, you know, you're so intuitive. you know, you guys are ruled by the moon. Oh, we have the moon reverse here. Huh? Yeah. Moon reverse, yes. They were, okay. They were in a space of avoiding difficult emotions and confrontations at that point. You know, just not having their needs expressed and recognized because they weren't expressing it and recognizing it. So this just shows a return to old ways of coping that they had in the past. And the thing is this, with this card, because it's a major arcana, those patterns are going to remain exactly where they are. And that is like a thorn in their side until they give it the attention it needs, until they start paying attention to the pattern in their behavior, the patterns in their behavior. It's always going to be an issue. It's just always going to be an issue. Yeah. This strategy they took is not serving their higher good in any way, anyway. No, no, no. Or it did not. I'm sorry, because I'm talking about progression here. And then we go into the Five of Swords reverse, because, you know, look, this ended up in unnecessary conflict. Of course it did. Of course it did. Okay, I'm getting that your partner is so not in touch with who they really, really are. And I don't even mean that in a shady way at all. I really don't. I think that they honestly and innocently and non-maliciously don't see their shit. I really do. I mean, that is, I'm getting that very strongly here. But yet they know where they're incapable of following through. They know that much. They just don't know the other half of the story, the more important half, that could actually invoke change. Or at least they didn't at this point. I didn't get through the rest of the cards. Yeah, definitely not serving their higher good at all. Unnecessary conflict happened, you know, but a conflict that they were not able to see their part in, you know, a conflict that arose with you, and they began to view you as selfish, Cancer, even though they were the ones who were ultimately trying to come up with ideas to cover up their incompetence in something, you know, whether it's in this relationship or I don't know. I mean, maybe they were just feeling really incompetent about, it's like they knew they promised you stuff. They know they were very mindful of the fact that they promised you, metaphorically speaking, a white picket fence in a rose garden. And they felt completely incapable of following through with their promises, and they felt bad. And I feel like it had something to do with money, or them just self-sabotaging the situation somehow. I don't know, it could be one or the other, but it became, it was just, as painful as it was, yeah. I mean, you just started to just see all of this stuff, Cancer. You know, but the thing is, their feelings of inadequacy became all-consuming for them. It became in the front and center of their mind. It became so prevalent that everything that you said, did, or breathed, they were taking in the wrong way. And they were taking it as a negative against them. And then we have the Ten of Wands reverse. Yes, so all the stress they were putting on themselves about actually showing up in the relationship and being all of this, you know, in the way that they initially presented, started to become just too much in their mind. And every little thing was becoming framed as a potential problem. And they didn't understand that they didn't have to be perfect for you, Cancer. You didn't need them to be perfect. You just wanted them to love you and to let you love them. But they put so much pressure on themselves to a point where they needed space. And then we have the King of Wands energy that, well, they at some point decided that they needed to free themselves of this burden, to reflect on their truth, to be themselves, to be free. Except, this is the thing, they really aren't free beyond saying the words that they are. Even without you in their life, because of the energy of perfectionism that's indicated here, even in this King of Wands card, yeah, they're hiding behind some mask that they conjured up along the way. And they conjured up what that mask is supposed to look like. You know, what's acceptable, what's perfect, what's unflawed, you know? It's unflawed. Is there such a thing? I don't know. I don't think so. And then, going into the High Priestess in reverse energy, they made the choice to go down the wrong path, Cancer, an inappropriate path. They just did. They listened. They either listened to the wrong external advice, or it could have just been their own broken intuition, because reality is, Cancer, anyone living in the premise of perfectionism on any level is not working with full-powered, healthy intuition. They're not. It's just not possible. It's not. Trying to seek perfectionism is a low vibration, and we cannot have our intuition tuned up if we have a couple of light bulbs blown out. But Cancer, they need to, or needed to, release a secret so profound that if it's not put out into the open, it can be potentially harmful. So I don't know if this happened already or if it's going to happen. You know, time and energy is very fluid. This could have happened a couple of weeks ago. It might happen this week. But the thing is, this is a big secret. This is a big secret. And then we have the Star. So either the secret came out or will come out, but your ex has been doing some heavy-duty praying, and whatever that means to them, even if they don't mean, you know, that doesn't mean God. It could, you know, or Allah or whatever. It's, you know, whomever. It could be, you know, to a rock, just to the universe. But this suggests a change for the better for them. They've had some sort of epiphany. Something happened here. I don't know. This is indicating that a secret of some sort came out. Something was dumped out of them that that was weighing so heavily on them. And yeah, this definitely suggests a change for the better, and they want to get back with you, Cancer. But I have to tell you the feeling that I'm getting, Cancer. I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm getting that you've played out every single scenario in your mind. And on some level, you do feel that, you know, that saying, like, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it can't go back in again. Like, you're truly concerned about the same old issues arising. And, you know, if you're able, like, really, really able to get past it all, and just getting that this is your question. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So yes, there are communication issues, and it is a pentacle. I do get a very heavy energy here indicating that it is specifically regarding money as being the heart of an issue here. Even if it wasn't for you, it doesn't mean it was for you, but for them it was. I'm also getting that someone else in their life, maybe their kids or a family member, are doing things that they find so hard to accept, that it's gotten in the way of your relationship. You know, this could be anything. I mean, maybe one of their kids started using drugs. Maybe a family member has been incarcerated. Maybe somebody came out as being gay. Maybe someone is having an affair or getting a divorce or something like this, where it's just something that they consider to just be wrong, and it's just eating at them to the point of it being all consuming. I'm getting that for a handful of you, not all of you, but for sure. But regardless, demands of work, family, and just life, Cancer, life came before you. And you just, I'm getting that you don't trust that it would ever change. Cancer, listen, I have to tell you what I'm getting here. This is a very confused individual, not a bad person at all. Just confused. They're confused. We all get confused sometimes. I just don't know what that secret is. I don't know. You know, tarot gives us just so much, but, you know, damn straight I'm going to try to figure it out. So I'm going to pull some cards. And just to remind those of you who did watch the last video, those of you who didn't, you have Jupiter retrograde in your 6th house of health coming up in April. Well, what does health mean? Health means all of it. It doesn't mean weight. It doesn't mean, it means all of it. And it means your mental health as well. And Jupiter is really going to be pulling for you. And I like to consider Jupiter this beautiful energy. It's like, you know, that best friend who comes in to help you clean up your messy room. All right, I'm going to put this here, I'm going to put this there, because believe me, you'll trust, you know, you'll thank me later for it. That kind of thing. All right, let's get some clarity, please. Energy, God, universe, please. Cancer needs a little bit of direction on what the deal is here with the secret. Okay. Something's happening where they felt really the need to move very fast, but at the same time, they were just waiting for a time period to pass. This is confliction right here. This is confliction right here. This is an intuition card. It's reversed. Confused, not in their intuition. Oof. Okay, all right. So they don't feel that you guys are going to be able to... I have to tell you, Cancer, I feel like they think this in their life in general, and you're part of their life. Okay? They don't feel like they're going to end up in a really good space. They don't feel like they're going to end up with that ultimate happiness. They're making very bad decisions right now. Big time. Knight of Wands reverse. Stupid ass decision. Stupid. Irresponsible. Irresponsible. But then they have the Judgment card. So there's this possibility of them, no, I mean, it's not a possibility because it's a major arcana, of them kind of having this epiphany, this moment of, this real epiphany of, oh my God, what the hell have I been doing, kind of thing. Yeah, stick a fork in it right there, my friend. Woohoo. Yep, yep. All right. Let me just pull one more row. Okay. All right, so we have the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Swords rather, reverse. So they were not willing to give up on something, and I get that it was your relationship, because they wanted to come in and just sweet talk you. This is the thing with the Knight of Swords, though. You have to keep in mind that sometimes the Knight of Swords comes in, especially after there's been a breakup, I have to say, or if they're brand new. And very often they end up hiding behind this perfect persona. And they don't want to take that mask off. And that has been your partner's case this entire relationship. So I would definitely focus on matching what they say to their actions, absolutely. Yeah, and then we have the Six of Wands. So they feel like you did not appreciate them. They feel like things were not handled in the fairest of ways, but they want to take a chance on you, absolutely. Even though they don't have it all figured out, even though they're not sure what they can actually offer you, they're really not sure. They're not sure in the way of money, they're not sure in the way of support, because that's what the King of Pentacles represents, and it's reversed. So if we look at it from the perspective of, they don't know if they're going to be able to be there for you as a healthy partner. They don't know if they're going to be able to contribute financially, but they do know that they want to take the chance with you, and that's what these cards indicate. Yeah. So let's do the yes, no. Let's do the yes, no, Cancer, okay? So ask 3 times, am I, fill in your partner's name, going to get back together, or am I, and fill in your partner's name, going to stay split up? However you ask it, just make sure you ask it the same way all 3 times. Excuse me. Okay, ready? Okay. Wow. I'm not mad at this card. This is a minor arcana, so it's not temporary. What this is telling me is not now. But what I do like is that it's the 6 of Cups, and they miss you very much. They miss you. They're feeling nostalgic about you right now. Yep. They're feeling nostalgic. And that also indicates a wanting, There's a wanting here of a fresh start. I don't know if it's possible. I'm going to pull one more little oracle for you because I don't want to leave you guys out. Okay. What do we have here? Oh, this is beautiful. I love this card. Earlier disappointments were just rehearsals for the great stuff coming your way. Cancer. Earlier disappointments were just rehearsal for the great stuff coming your way. Yes. Never regret love, no matter how blind it improved your vision. No matter how foolish it made you wiser. And no matter how generous it made you more. The universe. Ah, love that card for you. This is a beautiful way to end it. Listen, Cancer. Not a bad person, okay? Not. I don't know what the secret was, but... And because I don't know, and you have free will, I can't give you anything other than what I'm about to say. If you feel like this is something that you want to revisit, I feel like it has the potential, but there needs to be a little bit of space right now. That's it. And I feel like with Jupiter retrograde in your house of health, you guys just need space to process. But I feel like towards the end of this, I'm just feeling like towards the end of April, beginning of May, I just feel like if not before that, some sort of communication is going to be happening, and you have to decide what you're willing to put up with, because guys, in no relationship, it's never, realizing what the problem was is never the hard part. That's a matter of being able to recognize facts. You know what I mean? And A, B, and C happen on D, E, and F day. Did it or did it not? The problem arises with you or your partner's willingness to accept the facts of what happened. And it's challenging sometimes to understand if we even want to stick it out and give it another shot. That's the hard part of relationships, not figuring out what happened. It's what we want to do with what happened. That's the hard part, right? But you guys, I love this oracle. My goodness, that's great. I love it. I love it either way, however it ends up for you. Earlier disappointments were just rehearsal for the great stuff coming your way. And you know great stuff is coming your way. You know it. You know it. You just got to figure out which junk are you going to take with you and which junk are you going to keep behind. And that's it. Cancer, that's what I have for you. Again, I'm so sorry about that earlier reading. I hope this was a helpful bonus read for you. You guys take care. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.